She left her daughter home alone with her boyfriend, and within hours, her daughter was on life support. The tragic case of Sawyer Jefferson. Trigger warning. This decrepit piece of crap right here is Cody Johnson. He looks like death sucking on a lifesaver. So of course, Sawyer's mom began letting Cody babysit her daughter while she went to work. Now Sawyer was only 16 months old, and like most toddlers, she needed a lot of attention, and Cody was more than happy to give that to her, but unfortunately, he did not have the best intentions. December 5th, 2015, Sawyer's mom would leave for work, leaving Sawyer home alone with Cody once again. But not long after leaving, she got a phone call from Cody stating she needed to come back home because Sawyer had gotten hurt. When she returned home, she found her baby unresponsive and bleeding profusely, so they jumped in the car and rushed Sawyer to the hospital, where by that point, Sawyer was in cardiac arrest and still unresponsive. The doctors and nurses were all baffled at just how many injuries this child had. She had a severe head injury, bruises all over her body, especially her face, neck, and ears. But that wasn't even the worst of it. Once doctors removed Sawyer's clothing, they realized she was bleeding profusely from both private areas. The doctors immediately questioned Sawyer's mother and Cody, but Sawyer's mom said she wasn't there. She didn't know what happened. Cody told them that Sawyer had fallen down and accidentally gotten hurt. Now, these doctors were not stupid. They knew something very sadistic had gone on here, so they called the police. By the time police got there, Sawyer was on life support fighting for her life. So the police questioned Sawyer's mother and her boyfriend Cody, to which now Cody stated Sawyer had slipped on her pajama pants and had fallen down onto a toy, and that was how she got these injuries. The ICU doctors told the police Sawyer's injuries were consistent with extensive forcible penetration. This baby had been violently R-worded. Now, like most predators and child abusers, Cody was not going to take responsibility for his actions. They knew Cody was lying, so they arrested him and took him down to the county jail, where he was charged with child SA and child abuse. But by that evening, Cody's charges were upgraded to murder, as Sawyer never regained consciousness and died while on life support from her injuries. Sawyer's mom continued to believe Cody's lies right on up until her child died. I'm sorry, but what a dumb bitch. In court, it would be proven that not only did Cody violently R-word this baby, but he also beat her to death afterwards. Evidence showed Cody had used extreme force on the baby during this attack, causing fatal bleeding and swelling of the brain. He caused 3 different types of hemorrhages in her head and eyes, including a subdural hemorrhage, bilateral retinal hemorrhages, a detached right retina, retinatosis in her left eye, and extensive bruising to her face, ears, neck, nose, and mouth. Sawyer's private area had been torn and damaged so much from this attack that even her organs had been damaged, and doctors could not get the bleeding to stop. A nurse who does SA exams on adults and children said it was the worst case she had ever seen throughout her entire career. Even the judge had to step out of the courtroom for several minutes after viewing the pictures of the baby's battered and bruised body. When Cody was sentenced, the judge returned to the courtroom and stated, "I hope to never see another case like this in my courtroom ever again." She said she had no words for him, so she gave him these words instead: life without parole, followed by life, then another life sentence, and another, making it clear that she never intended for him to get back out into society again. The prosecutor, who has seen almost every kind of abuse and violent crime, said this case will haunt them for many years to come. The sheer brutality, the pictures of the injuries, and what was done to this child can only be described as pure savagery. The police said the reason why Sawyer's mom never faced any charges is because she wasn't home, and that Cody admitted he was the only one there when this happened to Sawyer. But I have to disagree. I think she should have been charged with child neglect, endangerment of a child, reckless behavior, because she's the one who left this child in his care to begin with. Would you leave your child with him? Because I know I wouldn't. He looks like the oldest piece of dog shit that my dog squeezed out in that yard about 10 months ago.